everybody. My name is Nonhlanhla Ndlovukazi Mahlangu. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here with me today and watching. We're just gonna have a little chit chat. Yeah, we're just gonna have a little chit chat. My apologies if you're hearing a bit of sound. It is quite loud today in the complex. It's a Sunday afternoon, so people are just chilling outside, braaiing, by their cars, washing them, making a whole lot of noise. My apologies for that. I hope your phone is charged. I hope you've got enough data, and also I hope that you have your drink. If you drink water, just water, that's fine. I hope you're sorted there. Your glass of wine, tea, coffee, whatever. I hope you're sorted. So yeah. Today we're just gonna have a little chit chat. I'm great. It's a story time. I'm going to rush through it. I'm going to cut out a lot of bits. But there's two important things. Well, not two. It's one thing, but it happened twice. So years ago, back in 2010, 2011, I was dating this guy, and our relationship was great, right? Our relationship was great. We met at work. Yes. We met at work. At the time I used to work for a clothing store, and like just a retail store, and that's where we met. Beginning of our relationship, I think we started dating in 2011. Our relationship was cute, man. It was great. You know those relationships that you have when you're like early in your 20s, coming out of your teens into your 20s. It's cute, man. It's very cute. So guy and I dated for about 2 years, or close to 2 years. Sorry, there's fluff on my lip. Okay, it's gone. It was great. We dated for about 2 years. It was amazing. Was it? It was cute. It was very, very cute. He was thoughtful. He was a great guy, Shane, at the time. So I remember when we started dating, he had told me what he had done to his then ex. And she was like a recent ex. They had broken up about a year or a few months before I came into his life. And we dated, we worked together. It was very, we'd go out, we'd hang. And what he had told me about what he had done was awful, like awful. Basically, he was just abusive to that girl. And the saddest thing is that he was not even scared of her family members, where he'd just go to their family house and just demand to talk to her. And just, I don't know why I thought I was special, that all those things would never happen to me, or even one of those things would never happen to me. And I was basically just delusional. Like, girl, stupid girl. Why did you? But I went in the relationship knowing full well the type of person that he is, and I take accountability for that. I do. I really honestly do. And I also take accountability for the ways I triggered him, right? I should not have done that, but he also should not have reacted in that way. Cool. So we date 2 years, movie nights, date nights. Hey, we're cute, man. We buy each other gifts. I'm a student, so I don't get much money, but from whatever allowance that I'm getting from my parents, I'm able to save up for a few months and also get him a gift. Njalo. And yeah, Scooby relationship. We go on with our relationship, and at about a year and a half, or a year and 7 months, around then, getting close to the 2-year mark, I had met a new friend, right? A guy friend at that. After meeting this guy friend, one Friday, the guy friend suggests that him and I go out, like for drinks, and then he dropped me back at home, because I used to stay at home. I was either at home or at res or at the boyfriend's place. So on the day that he asked for us to go out, I ensured that I was at home, right? Guy picks me up in the afternoon. I didn't have classes that afternoon. He picks me up at home in the afternoon, around about, I don't know, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, just before it got dark. He picks me up, we go out, we have drinks, drinking, partying up a storm. And then I remember before that, I told him that, listen, I want to be back at my parents' house at 12 o'clock. I need to be home. Cool. He ensures that I'm home. Throughout the night that we were out, my boyfriend keeps calling and texting, but I'm not answering because I'm here, drinks. I go back home. I'm still cool. I had told my mother where I was and who I was going with, and she was cool with that. And I go out, I come back in the morning, I call up the boyfriend, hey babe, how are you? Yeah, Tlantla, where are you? I'm at home. Why? No, yesterday I was trying to call you, I couldn't get a hold of you, you just disappeared. What happened? Then I explained, which, yesterday I actually went out with a friend of mine. I didn't have classes, so I came home that Friday, the day I went out, and a friend of mine came to pick me up. Then we went out for drinks. Then he dropped me back at home. Then he's like, I'm like, yeah. I give him the guy's name and where he stays and all that information, just to put him at ease. Then he's like, oh, okay. I remember I took him lunch I took lunch for him to his work on that day, on that Saturday. I bring him lunch, we sit in the parking lot, he has his lunch, and he's questioning me about my whereabouts the previous day. I let him know that no, I had gone out, like I said, I went out with this friend, this is like a new friend, there's really nothing going on. Just to assure him that, listen, I'm not doing any funny business. Eventually, he lets up and he lets it go. Later on that evening, he calls me. He's like, yo, can you come sleep over? I'm like, cool, not a problem. Pack up an overnight bag. He comes through, picks me up. We go to his place and I sleep over there. Okay, cool. He does not ask me anything about the previous day when I'm at his house or when I'm with him. Nothing. The last time he had asked was during his lunch. Sorry. The last time he had asked was when I was there at his work during lunch. Cool. Hi, we have dinner. We watch a movie. After the movie, we both take a shower. We go to bed. Yo, guys, I got woken up at 3 a.m. or just after 3 a.m. by somebody yanking me. I sleep on my side. So as I'm sleeping on my side, he yanks me so that I'm laying on my back. It can't be hanky-panky. That was too rough. No. He pulls me, he yanks me. And as I get on my side, I'm just confused with it. Like, what is going on? It is far too early for this. Like, oh, hold up. I'm trying to get back to my side. He yanks me, gets on my chest. He sits on my chest and he locks my hands in with his knees. Now I'm stuck in this position. And I'm just like, what? Now I'm shocked. I'm fully awake. I'm fully aware what's going on. And I'm like, what? What's going on? What's happening? I'm now getting freaked out. Oh, guys, like, you know what? You're cheating on me. I will not tolerate any of that kind of behavior. You will be loyal to me. I'm like, listen, I'm not cheating. I told you I went out with. I told you we went out for drinks. I told you that he dropped me off at 12, and really nothing happened. No, I don't know that for sure, which is true. You don't know that for sure, but I'm telling you that nothing happened. And right now, I'm not lying. Sorry about that. My son came through in the house. So as I was saying, where was I? Oh, when the 3 a.m. situation. So I get up and I find him. He's yanking me, sits on my chest, locks me in, and he keeps saying that he wants me to be loyal, and I keep assuring him that nothing happened, and he starts calling me the B word, not the small letter B word, the big B word. So cool. Eventually he gets to a point where he's so angry, and me trying to assure him is just pissing him off. He starts strangling me. I'm fighting. I can't breathe. My eyes keep rolling back. I lose sense of time. I still don't know how long that lasted, because he'd strangled me to a point where now I start feeling like I'm getting out of it. Then he'd let go, then I could breathe for a bit, then he'd start over again. And there was a point where he was trying to slap me, and then he stopped and he's like, whoa, I don't want any marks on you. I don't want anybody looking at me in any funny way. But in that time, I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with a freaking psychopath. What on earth? So cool. That lasted for however long it lasted, probably 30 minutes or an hour. Eventually he stops and then he sleeps. And then from that time to the time it was sunrise, that felt like forever. I'm sitting there literally shitting bricks. I'm scared, not knowing what he's going to do when he gets up. Eventually he gets up and he's like, yo, I need to get ready for work. I don't know if you want to stay or come with, because work is closer to your house. I'm like, I want to go home. Like, I want to go home. I'm not talking to him. I'm freaked out. I'm scared. Never in my entire life has anybody put their hands on me. And now here I am. And in that morning, I knew I cannot stay in this relationship, because if I stay, then he'd see that I'm okay with what he's doing. And which I'm not okay. I'm really not okay. I'm not for abuse. No, I will not stay. I got home. Oh, he got ready for work. I got ready to go home. I packed my shit and I left. I went home. Later on that evening, he was trying to call me throughout the day. Sorry, not throughout the evening, throughout the day. And I was not taking his calls, not answering his messages. And that made him even more angrier. Cool. We let it go. A few days later, I get a call from his mom saying that she's worried about her son, which is this guy. So his mom and I had access to each other. We'd call each other every now and then just to check on each other and just to check how's the family doing and such things. So she called me. She's like, hey, Nhlanhla, how you doing? I'm worried about your boyfriend, my son. What's going on? He's just in a weird state right now. I'm like, hey, ma, your son tried to kill me a couple of days ago, so I don't know what's going on with him. I'm not talking to him. Matter of fact, I've broken up with him. She's like, no, I'm sorry, forgive him. He'll never do it again. I'll ensure that he'll never do it again. I'm like, but you're not a part of our relationship. Yes, you're his mom, but you're not a part of this relationship. But I can't promise you that I'll go back, because chances are if I go back, the next time he tries something like this, he will just unalive me, you know? She's like, no, he'll never do that. A few days later, he sends me pictures with a rope and he's tied it in is it called a noose? I think it's called a noose. He's tied it in a noose and he's like, I'm going to end it all today. Now I'm begging him not to end his life, because that would be so stupid to end your life because of a relationship, you know? I succumb and I go back to him. Biggest mistake of my life. One of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life. I go back and then we keep trying. And then a few months later, I remember at school, we had like a Heritage Day event or something. It was like around September. Heritage Day event, Sharpo, I'm taking part. Then I invite him to come through because he wanted to see me, but I was busy. So I was like, you know what? Sorry, in order for you to see me, you'd have to come through and also take part in this thing. Yes, you're not a student, but the more hands we have on board, the better. Sharpo, he comes through. He was not working on that day. He comes through. He sleeps over the Friday. The Saturday, we go off to campus. We set up our stall as our res, representing our res. And we've got all the different cultures just being represented by our stall. Cool, it's all good. And then he ended up vibing with the guys from our campus. There was a group of guys that he was vibing with. Like, it's all good. Like, I'm not even worried about him because I see he's with a group of people and he's good. He's, I don't know, engaging with them and they like him too. You know, go right. Cool. And then later on, we finish the whole day event. We go back to res. We get to res. Okay, usawa. He's sour. His mood is on 0. No, matter of fact, it's on a minus. He has go frozen, go 0, go ugly. And I'm like, babe, what's wrong? You know, because I thought we had a good day. Because throughout the day, I'd keep checking on him. Hey, babe, you good? Don't want drinks? Do you want food? What's going on? No, babe, I'm alright, I'm alright. When he wants something, he'd come through to me, or he'd call me, yo, where are you? I want 1, 2, 3. And I'd pull through. He says to me, now we're back at my race. He says to me, Nhlanhla, who's the guy that was wearing, I don't know, black top, blue jeans? I'm like, I don't know. Why? What happened? Were you asking about him? What did he do? He's like, no, you've been paying a lot of attention to this guy. And I'm thinking, who was wearing this today? And I can't find anybody. He's like, no, he's such and such a height. He speaks this language. And I saw you standing with him on multiple occasions. In my head, I'm thinking, I was standing with everybody from campus. And some people from campus and also from our race. So I don't know what you're on about. I really honestly don't know. He's like, no, in the morning when we were waiting for the bus, he came and gave you a hug and completely ignored me. I'm like, but a lot of us were standing around, so I don't understand what you're saying. He's like, no, you're lying. There's no way, you're lying. And he starts accusing me of all awful things, and he tries to put his hands on me again. And now at this point, I'm like, no, this is not how this is gonna play out. The last time you had the advantage, because first of all, we were at your place, it was 3 a.m. and you know I don't have friends around your area. So you had like home ground advantage. Right now, I've got home ground advantage. I've got a lot of people here. There's guards here. Jay, you're not gonna try this nonsense. He pushes me, I push him back. He tries to slap me, I punch him back. Like, it's just like a whole shuffle way. Now we're fighting in my room. And my room was small, guys. There's like a single bed, there's a table. Literally 2 steps away, there's a door. So my room is tiny. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of room for us to do all this fighting. Eventually, the girls in my cottage hear that there's a scuffle in my room. They come in, bursting through the door, and they're like, Nhlanhla, what's going on? I'm like, so the girls come through the door. The girls come through the door and they're like, yo, Nhlanhla, what's going on? Because they heard a scuffle in my room. They burst through my door. They're like, yo, Nhlanhla, what's going on? I'm like, yo, my boyfriend needs to go right now because no. They're like, no, what's going on? Why are you guys fighting? I'm like, you know what? That's besides the point. I'm being accused of all crazy things right here. And because you guys saw, we were together the whole day. Do you recall the amount of people that you spoke to? No. So now I'm being accused of all sorts of crazy things. Apparently, there's a guy I was giving hugs to throughout the day on campus, and I don't remember that. So now he's pissed off about that, and now he's fighting me. He's putting his hands on me. Guards get called. Guards come through. They take him out. They take him off our res, and I block him. Cool, and he leaves, and our relationship ends. I think I called him on that Wednesday and I was like, yo, look, I'm not comfortable with being with you anymore because to you right now, because of what happened a few months ago when I went out with that new friend, now every time I speak to a friend or a male person, you automatically start thinking that I'm cheating on you, and which is not true, you know? Am I not allowed then to have guy friends? And if I'm not going to be allowed to have guy friends, I'm sorry, then I can't be here. I'm not saying I want guy friends, but if that is going to be a rule in our relationship, I cannot be here because I cannot count the amount of female friends that you have, and I've never felt that you're doing anything funny with him, even if I see that no, you're flirting, but I take it that no, this is your female friend and this is how you guys talk, and I've never tried to police who you're friends with. Cool. I tell him all of that. I break up with him. He says he wants everything that he has ever bought me. I'm like, cool, not a problem. I can bring everything back. Just it needs to be the next time I come home, because I'm not going to be running around right now. I'm on campus. Test week starts next week and you're gonna have to wait. I go through test week, everything is fine. Everything is fine. No, I had a mental block. There was a week I had a mental block because I remember I walked into one of the tests that I was supposed to be writing. It was for financial management. I walked in. All I wrote on that paper was my name and surname, my student number, the course I'm doing, and the name of the subject, the module. And I wrote question 1, and I sat for 30 minutes so that so you had a rule that you can start leaving the test center once 30 minutes has passed. So I waited for 30 minutes. After that, I handed in my paper and I walked out, which is another reason why I failed. Anyway, and then we broke up. Then there was a week I went home. I called down like, yo, I'm home. We can meet on the corner of so and so, and at this particular time for you to get your things. I went there with a friend of mine, just to ensure that nothing happens, you know. Took a friend with, because now I knew that, listen, you're dealing with a crazy person, you're dealing with a freaking psychopath. So I couldn't risk going there on my own. Stuff that if people call me a coward, but yo guys, safety first, yo. I go there with my friend. I hand over every single item, from head clip to clothes to bags to shoes, everything. Oh, and a phone. At the time I was using the phone that he had bought me, and I handed that too. I did not even care that I did not have a phone after that. I was like, that's it. I don't want anything that needs that's going to link me and this person. I'm done. Like, done. Cool, we break up and life goes on. And then now, like years later, then I keep bumping him close to where I work. He works in the same area and he keeps asking for forgiveness and asking that maybe try again. I'm like, no, sir, you're trying to finish me off. Absolutely not. That is not happening. Yo, guys, you know when there's a few lessons that I took away from that relationship. There was red flags from the get-go. Nah, he told me what he had done to a previous girlfriend. And I literally just had my blinkers on and I was not looking any other way but straight ahead to this relationship. And I was determined to go into this relationship and stay in it. So there were red flags that I ignored. It was a freaking carnival. I mean, you can't tell me that you were abusive to your previous relationship, to your previous partner, to your previous girlfriend, and I'm still okay with that. But I was stupid girl. 2, now you know that this person is abusive. It's just never happened to you. And then it happens to you, and then you stay. Big mistake. By you staying and accepting this person's apology, you're basically saying to them, I'm okay with what you did. I'm okay with that. Do it again. And trust. Even if you say, yes, I accept your apology, they will do it again. They will do it again. They will drag you in front of people and nobody's going to be able to help you. So, and the third thing is that I feel not even grateful. I feel lucky that I was able to get away, even if it had to take 2 incidents for me to get it through my skull that, listen, this guy is dangerous. This guy could actually kill you. I'm grateful that I was able to get away from that before it had gotten to a point where he unalives me. Because unfortunately, I do have a cousin that happened to. She was in a long-term relationship where apparently, I did not even know. I knew once he had unalived her, you know, that no, Ukele was in a relationship with a guy for maybe 4 or 5 years and he was abusive throughout. He beat her in front of her friends, in front of his friends, in front of strange people in the club. Hey, he just beat her and people would just watch. And eventually one day they were trying to work things out and he ended it. May God, may her soul rest in peace. Yeah, that was a painful experience for all of us in the family. But I'm just saying, yo, if somebody shows you and tells you who they are the very first time, you need to believe them. Don't think when you're special. They will mop the floor with you behind. They will drag you from Cape Town to Cairo. Guys, this goes for both male and female. If you see the red flags, run. You see them standing that way with their red flags, run the opposite direction. Don't even go towards them because they might stop you. Opposite direction. Balega. Hey. Balega iba Usain Bolt. Run. Tsotsoma. Hey guys. Sizofa sibancane shem. Ngenxa yomjolo. I never even wanted to talk about this, but I just felt that no, this should be a story time. It embarrasses. Imagine I'm the victim in all of this, but it embarrasses me that I went through that. And I say that I take accountability for what I did, because I triggered him, but he should have never reacted in the way that he did. Yeah, that's my story for today. Y'all be on the lookout. Be wise about the people that you bring into your life. Be wise about the people that you date, because yay, it's gevaarlijk out here. It's dangerous out here. But that's my story time for today. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video as well. I love you, love you, love you, love you. I love you long time. And that's it.